Hello everyone, it's Daniel from Jenito here today to show you the Grimsworth Report's Woodfall, upcoming release on October 17th. We're going to get straight into it. We'll look at the options menu really quick. You can enable and disable some WebGL effects if it runs slow. Flashes, there aren't many, but just in case you're prone to seizure, you can get rid of that. Obviously toggle full screen, sound and music volume, and you can also rebind the keyboard or gamepad controls if you would like to. No resolution choices because since it's using Construct 2 and it's powered by HTML5, the game automatically scales to whichever resolution you happen to be running in at the time. Without any further ado, let's get into it. It starts off with a quick story. Right now there's no sound or music with the story because that's something that we're still working on and getting around to. But that's post-production kind of stuff. Quiet Town is jarred from its slumber by the unexpected and brutal murder of James Waters. Always got to roll the R when you get a chance. And so we see some of the basic footage from the game. Crime scene is unlike anything Woodfall has ever seen. The local sheriff is left confused and desperate for help. You can see what's left of Mr. Waters there. Not much. Not much. But at least they gave him a pole to be on. Right? Special Agent Chuck Grimsworth, who specializes in crimes considered especially violent or perhaps even paranormal, responds to a plea for help. And so Chuck is going to get in his car and get on his way. Meanwhile, local residents speculate about an ancient evil hiding in the woods. A dark cult from an age long past that may have returned for a final blow. Indeed. Indeed. The story's almost over here. Or are the murders tied to an equally sinister legend about a walking corpse which haunts the landscape ever seeking new prey? Only time can tell. Walking corpse. Probably a rock star. I'm sorry for my dad jokes. As Sunday afternoon passes, Chuck drives with a resolve towards Woodfall. Regardless of what awaits, he will do what he can to solve the mystery. Dun, dun, dun. There will be no voice acting in the game, by the way, just because, little background on the development of the game. I'm the sole developer. My friend Tim helps me with PR and marketing, but as far as the actual game design goes, it's all me. So, voice acting, obviously, I could, try to work towards hiring some people in if I had a budget. That's kind of sad. So you can go back and forth between mouse control, point and click, right click to investigate, ba-da-ba-ba. You can use your keyboard, or if I had a gamepad plugged in, you can play it that way, which is my personal preference. Cards here are seriously dorky looking because Daniel didn't want to have to draw them again. Conversations are a big part of the game, so let's get straight into that. Rodney, he says we don't often get outsiders around these parts. What brings you to the humble town of Woodfall? Sure is a rainy night. Sure is, but bad weather usually keeps strangers like you out of Woodfall. I don't mind that one bit. Oh, I see. Weird clothes, man. Weird clothes, I'll tell you what. You're the weirdest thing around here. What a lame comeback. So why don't you pack up and move along from here, else we can handle this? Well, then bring it on. And he stabs you. That right there is how you know that I have done a superb job designing the game. Somebody can stab you in the first minute of gameplay. Excellent, excellent. You go right back to the checkpoint, whatever the last checkpoint you crossed is, and all your information is saved. For example, here, Rodney says, we're done here for good, because you insulted him and he doesn't want to talk to you anymore. Never mind the fact you just came back to life in front of him. He's not bothered by that. He just knows, man, I don't want to talk to him. That guy that just magically came back to life, I don't want to talk to him anymore. So when I walk in, I'm almost overwhelmed by stuff. I've got the quest marker on the right side. You've just arrived at Marty's, your first stop. You'll want to talk to Buford. Choose your path wisely. And that's going to introduce you to one of the main mechanics of the game. We also have a text message down at the bottom right. There's something creepy behind Marty's. And I'll use the tab key to close that out. Grab some water because, hey, it's delicious. And I'm going to talk to Buford. So he's told to expect I was told to expect your arrival. He says you'll be in room 1 upstairs. Here's the key. So this happens no matter what. But then you get a choice that will determine your path here at Marty's Inn. You have 3 paths you can go down. This is common in the game. You have 3 different paths. As you choose these paths, they add together points on the back end. The player never sees that, and it determines what ending you get. There are 3 different endings, and they're all completely different. A lot of different endings are kind of variations on a theme. In Woodfall, I mean, they are different endings, totally different locations, totally different content and story material, so pretty cool. I can poke around. There's something creepy out back. I can talk to Jack, the pastor of the local church. He wants to talk to me upstairs. Or I can ask him, hey, you got anything else? And if you ask him that, he'll actually give you a lockpick, and you can break into a room upstairs where you'll find some notes that are interesting. But hey, let's go see the creepy stuff, because when we do that... Sorry, I'm not going to read all that, Buford. I'm going to move right along, because I want to show off the gameplay here. This is going to introduce us to one of the main aspects of the game, which are puzzles. And there are different kind of puzzles. We're going to see an item-based conversational-based puzzle later. But right now, we're going to see the kind of more Myst-like puzzles in the game, because guess what? The door to the shed is locked. A key has to be here somewhere. And indeed, there is inside this pole, which is also a puzzle. Well, what can I do here? It's a combination, 3 numbers, and there are 2 clocks up top. One pointing to 250 and the other to 715. What could I do with 250 and 715 that's going to result in 3 numbers? Well, I could add them together. Now, I could add them as actual times. If you understand what I mean, it wouldn't go up to 100. It'd only go up to 60. Or I could just convert them over to basic integers, add them together, and see what happens. And that's what we're going to do. And spoilers. Boom! The pole opens and retrieve an old bloody key. Now, this is one of the more ambiguous kind of puzzles where it's like, what exactly do I do? I'm a big fan of these, so that's why there's some of them in the game. Before the game releases, we want to add in-game hints, or at the very least, maybe a link to our website that will have a walkthrough to give you answers to questions like that if you find it. I don't want the player to get frustrated, like, I can't figure this out. But I'm a huge fan of that. I know other people that are big fans of those kinds of puzzles, so they are present in the game. I get the key, I go in the shed. Nothing here. But there's blood everywhere. I need to get out of here. It is creepy in here. The shovel could be useful. Hey, game gives you a shovel, you got to take it. Now, if I hung around here too long, I'd be paid a visit. But I'm not gonna. I'm going to get out of there because it's creepy. You can go download the free demo on Game Jolt and find out for yourself, if you would like to, what happens if you stay in that shed. In the meantime, I'm going to go upstairs and I am going to walk into my room, and there's going to be this lore report hanging there in the middle of the room. So I'm going to grab it and open the report menu to read it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. As you play the game, the Grimsworth reports are filled in. First, you have some character reports. Tells you about Rodney and Buford. Mr. Stanford is a naturally cordial individual, also gives you their last name, who works for Marty, owner of Marty's Inn. While I can't say much for the superb quality of the establishment by which he is employed, Buford himself is an extremely friendly individual. Stanford seems a bit alone in the Woodfall community, and I doubt that he has many friends among the people who live here. Tells you his age, gender, how long they've been a resident, name, all that kind of information. So it's just cool. As you meet characters, this information is filled in. Also, location reports. The inn is named for its owner, Marty Baines. Marty seems like a fairly elusive fellow, though his influence is felt far and wide throughout the community. The inn itself is passable. It's fairly clean. Back to menu. Lore reports. These you collect throughout the game. They're kind of like in-game collectibles. And the lore reports, which have that cool little logo, by the way, if you... Gotta make sure you see that little logo. Look at that. I'm pleased with that logo. Anyway, Fallcrest Mountain. There's a great deal of logo legends surrounding Fallcrest Mountain, and if you want to read it all, go download the demo and check it out for yourself. We're gonna go ahead and turn in for the night, go to sleep, and we are going to wake up, boom, right here in the middle of Woodfall on Main Street, where presumably we walked. We didn't just wake up here, hopefully, because that'd be disturbing. All right, we'll see that we're here on Main Street. We get a text message to come to the cabins, and our main quest is updated. There's some trouble in Woodfall. You've been summoned to the cabins off of Main Street. By the way, you probably noticed. Let me talk to this guy first. More conversation here. You can ask him questions. Why do they need me? Where's City Hall? Get directions, things like that. But if I open up the menu, you can see that you can go see the main quest at any time from your menu so you don't get lost. And the officer has wandered off somewhere. So, what I'm going to do is kind of show you how the first little bit of the game goes, but I'm not going to spend a lot of detail. I'm going to kind of do things because I know how it's done. You might be wondering, well, how do you know to do that? Well, because I made the game and I know the solution to everything. If you play the game, there's a lot of walking around and talking you got to do. I'll kind of show you that. Have you seen anything unusual? Not really, but Nathan Bain talked about a secret path he found. He works at Shopwell. Oh, cool. Well, then I'll walk over to him, pass up Charlotte here, and I'll ask him, hey, tell me about Woodfall. Hey, believe it or not, there's a secret little alleyway behind Victorian Gifts. You got to look around for it, but you can find it. Well, cool. That's something to know. Also, we can see here that there's a character who wants me to help her find a package for her. Package? Yeah, there's a very important package for me down at the post office. Can't pick it up. There's bad blood between me and Peter Till. He won't deliver it. He can't do it. That's not how the USPS works. Well, tell that to him. He's an odd man. And I basically get down to it. All right, I'll get your package for you. So that opens up a side quest. You don't have to do these, but they're fun little extra missions that you can complete. And she'll also give you some information like, hey, you're going to need to sneak past Peter to get it. How can I sneak past? Well, there's got to be some sort of stealth technology. Like, of course, I hear cardboard boxes are great for hiding from people. Last word in stealth technology. We've learned that from gaming. And she says, maybe you could find one down at the church sometime. They're always getting boxes. So if your investigation leads you in that direction, you might stop by. If you go down to the church, you will not find a cardboard box. But if you go to the church during your main investigation, at one point, and you have to make the decision to do that, then you will be able to pick up a cardboard box. So, not only do the decisions you make change the ending, they also change your in-game path and what side quests you're able to complete and what side quests you're not. So, lots of variation. Replayability is something that we've really focused on. I've really focused on in designing the game. Seen anything unusual? Yes, Tony Williams got a hammer. Well, if somebody picked up a hammer, then surely I need it. I went through a toilet and I didn't need to. Okay, and let's run and let's go do that. And we'll show you one more puzzle, quick interaction, one other major aspect of the game, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the gameplay video. You can play a downloadable demo on GameJolt. The complete game will be out for purchase on GameJolt and Steam on October 17th, and maybe some other platforms as well. At least I know it'll be out on GameJolt. Let me say with Steam, there may be a 1 week delay, and just there's lots of back-end work you got to do with Steam, so it may be a little bit later, but at least on GameJolt, you'll be able to get it on the 17th. Tony, if you just saw, handed me that hammer. I know about the secret path, so I investigate the area. I find it. There's a glass case back here. If I tried to break it open with my bare hands, it wouldn't work. But since I have the hammer, I use my hammer, and of course, the hammer breaks. And you retrieve the blood collection kit, and boom, you're ready to go. So you have a blood collection kit that I'll need at the crime scene. If this was your first time playing, obviously you wouldn't know that you needed all this stuff. You would figure that out as you went to the crime scene. And there is plenty to keep you occupied in between. There's plenty of people to talk to. They're constantly saying new and different things as you progress through the game. So there's a lot in the game to be done. But I'm going to go ahead and run over here. When playing with keyboard, I can press left shift and I can run. And blah, 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 blah. I'm going to open up this door, and there we go. We're at the crime scene. And I can talk to the sheriff over there, but instead I'm going to investigate this. Blood may belong to the attacker. I need a collection kit. Fortunately, I've got one, and I'm done. So one last thing I'm going to show you. You've kind of already seen this, but this is where it really begins to count. You have a major decision. You found evidence. How do you want to proceed? You can take the blood sample back to City Hall yourself. Or you could look into the cult symbols that are in there. There's that cult symbol painted on the wall in blood. Or you can find out more about James Waters. Depending on what choice you make, that is going to set some in-game points that you don't see. They're on the back end of things that will determine what ending you get. Also, you'll get different items that you'll be able to use to complete different side quests. For example, if I said cult symbols interest me, that'll go towards a more paranormal-esque kind of ending. And it also will allow me to get an in-game item that I need to solve one of the side quests. But I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. There is so much in the game. There's a lot more than this just in the demo. And in the complete game, there is even more. The game is set to come out on October 17th, at least on GameJolt. And hopefully Steam and hopefully some other platforms as well. Not platforms, I shouldn't say. Other websites, online portals, whatever you want to call them, online storefronts. But we are very, very excited about the release of the game. Again, you can go check out the free demo. Follow us on Twitter, like the YouTube video. The game will be done and coming out here soon. Until next time, I'm Daniel from Jenito, and I hope you have a wonderful day.